I've been descending down a Linux rabbit hole since last summer, and today my home-labbing and self-hosting adventure begins. Starting with laying out my roadmap and installing Proxmox for the very first time. I watched hours of the OGs here on YouTube, learning about Proxmox, Docker, and all the hows and whys, but like with everything else, real learning comes from actually doing stuff. So before we start building anything, let's talk about what home-labbing and self-hosting mean from my perspective as a beginner. And yeah, I'm not a software engineer or CS major, and generally I have no idea what I'm doing, but maybe that will help some of you get into this stuff as well. So home-labbing, what is it? In simple terms, a home lab is just a server at home, your own little data center. But what's a server, you might ask then? Well, a server is really just a computer that provides something to other computers. I think of a server as a server, someone that serves something else, you know? For example, when you watch Netflix, your laptop is asking Netflix's server for that particular movie. And when you upload photos to Google Photos, those photos are stored on Google servers. Basically, servers store data and send them to other devices when they ask for it. And normally, those servers belong to huge companies like Google, Apple, and Microsoft. Your files live on their machines, their infrastructure runs the software, and you're basically just renting access to it. And that's where self-hosting comes in. Self-hosting means running those kinds of services yourself instead of relying on these big tech companies for everything. So instead of your phone talking to some giant server in a data center somewhere, it could talk to your very own server at home. That server could run things like your own cloud storage, your own backups, ad blocking for your entire network, maybe even your own media server for music and movies. So I understand it this way. Self-hosting is the idea of running services, and a home lab is the setup that actually lets you do that. Okay, but why do I want to start a home lab and start self-hosting? Well, as I've said, I'm not a CS major, so applying this stuff professionally isn't really the point for me. No, for me it's about digital independence, online privacy, and owning your own media, your own stuff. Just think of the two common slogans. If it's free, you're the product, and you will own nothing and be happy. Self-hosting feels like a way of pushing against all of that. It's about running a few services yourself, understanding how they work, and having a small piece of your digital life be independent, instead of constantly sharing your data with these massive companies. Here's the roadmap. So 10 projects you'll see over the next few months on this channel. We'll start by setting up the core infrastructure with Proxmox. Then I'll move into the networking side with Pi-hole, Unbound, and Tailscale. And don't worry, if you don't know what any of this means, I'll try to explain it along the way. But after that, we'll get into some of the more exciting services, so things like a media server, cloud storage, music streaming, and photo backups. And towards the end, I'll add things like an offline Wikipedia corpus and other more, I guess, niche services. But as I've said, today we're starting with the foundation of the whole system, which will run on Proxmox. So what is Proxmox? Proxmox is something called a hypervisor. That basically means it's software that lets one physical computer run multiple virtual machines at the very same time. Instead of installing everything directly on one operating system, Proxmox sits directly on the hardware and lets you create separate virtual systems for different services. You can think of it like turning one computer into a lot of smaller computers. For example, one virtual machine might run a media server, while another runs a cloud storage system, and a whole third other might handle networking tools like Pi-hole, so ad blocking for your whole network. This is what the basic structure of the Foci Home Lab will look like. At the bottom we have the physical server, so the actual computer. On top of that runs Proxmox, the hypervisor, and inside Proxmox we'll create these different virtual machines and services for all of the projects that I outlined in the roadmap. So instead of a single system trying to run everything, we get a clean structure where each service runs in its own environment. Anyway, let's install Proxmox. So first I go to the website and grab the ISO. I then flash this ISO onto a USB. Using using Balena Etcher. I know this. This is how you install the Linux distro as well. Oh, and I'll be using this mini PC for the Proxmox server simply because it's what I had laying around. It's probably overkill, and this video is not sponsored. I then booted from the USB and was met with this screen. I then clicked the graphical installer. Oh, that's very small. I chose a very secure password, entered my email, and ran through all of the steps, just going with the recommended settings. The installation took like 5 minutes, and after rebooting I got this address. So let's turn to the Mac once again. From here I followed Nathan Laundrie's Proxmox guide for beginners. Type in root as my username and then my password, and to get rid of this pop-up I went to updates, repositories, and disabled these enterprise ones, and added a no subscription repo instead. Now I won't dive deep in this interface, we'll save that for a later video, but broadly this is the control center of the homelab. On the left we have the server view, which shows the data center and the node, in my case this mini PC called homelab. And in the middle we get a quick overview of the system, so things like CPU usage, memory usage, and storage. From here we'll eventually create a lot of different virtual machines, manage storage, and run all of the services that I outlined in the roadmap. But let's spin up our first VM. So under homelab I select local, ISO images, and upload. Create VM. Name. Montana OS. Select the ISO. Here I can allocate how many cores I want my VM to have from the total number of cores in the PC. 4 should be plenty. 8 gigs of DDR5 should be enough too. Next, finish. There it is. Start. Oh, where is it? Console. Oh, we're in. Hannah Montana Linux in all its glory. Actually, I'm going to install this on my ThinkPad and use it for a couple of days, so if that's something you'd want to see, maybe stick around the channel. Okay, that was the first installment of our homelab series. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you're not already a homelab wizard, perhaps learned a thing or two. Oh, you are a wizard. Well, in that case, any advice and suggestions are much appreciated. In the next video, I'll try to install Pi-hole to essentially block all ads on my network, and we might also look at Unbound, but who knows, it depends on how well the Pi-hole project goes. Thank you so much for watching, and a special thanks to Justin, Cal, Afraris, Jan, Lester, and Dustin, as well as the other members of the channel. You too can become a member of the channel, if it's financially responsible of you. Right now there are 2 tiers with different perks, but in addition to these, all members are invited to join a VIP channel in the Discord. Okay, bye!